All right, so I'd like to invite our three artists up for some questions that I have and some questions that you might have, so that way we can get the ball going and get some insight on the things we just watched. Don't be shy, I don't bite. And we'll pass this microphone. Oh, there's another chair right there. We'll go ahead and pass this microphone in between while we answer these questions. I did prompt them a little bit, so it is a little bit cheating, but I'll go ahead and ask, what inspired this? I feel like the beginning of your video is a little bit, but why don't you go ahead and expand on that for us?
Clearly the political climate at the time, the Supreme Court ruling about corporations are people, all of that stuff. Obviously, I'm a little unclear how I got Trump in it, because that was before he was even running for president, but obviously he was part of the picture back then, and the idea of income inequality was really starting to grow, and I have been reading about the parallels between this time and what the socio-economical environment and revolution in France was, and that's what. And obviously, I wrote the song and produced the song first, and then made the video afterwards. So that's what it was.
Very cool. Michael?
What inspired this movie? Well, Jeffrey here wrote the script.
Yes.
And I can let him say what inspired the script. But what inspired me to make this specific movie was me and Jeffrey and some other people have been working on the Easter Seals Disability Film Challenge, and the person we usually did it with kind of screwed us over. So we said, we're going to make a film on our own. And I looked at Jeffrey and I said, what do we got script-wise? And he happened to have the script that...
Well, the original inspiration for the story is my friend Eric went home to Tennessee, and he had his mother put weird dolls in his room, and we were texting back and forth, making jokes and back and forth about it being haunted and such. He says, "Wait, are we discussing a new script for you?" I'm like, "Oh, I guess we are now." But there's an Easter egg. So the calendar on the wall has a seal, and Easter is highlighted. Also, we also kind of took some of their, you had a hat and a certain color shirt.
Yeah, we used all the criteria from the Easter Seals Challenge that we didn't get to do because we kind of got the rug pulled out of us from under us at the last minute.
Yeah, but we had fun. It was like a one day shoot with like another day of pickup shots. And I have a slew of scripts that eventually we'll make, I'm sure. So, yeah.
Great. And Lauren, this is the second time we've seen something in Getty Underground of yours. So go ahead and describe, what inspired this version.
Yeah, so 6 years ago, we were visiting a celebrity friend in the Hollywood Hills, and he had a nice mansion that overlooked that the Hollywood sign was very close to, and we felt like you could reach out and grab it. It was like that. And I had said to him, I said, what if there was a story about someone that lived in the Hollywood sign? And I was thinking about Peggy and Twistle. Whenever I see that sign, and there's so much meaning to that sign, too, about being seen. And so I said to him, like, what would you think if there was a story about someone that lived in that sign that would care for the sign and take care of the people that were, thinking about, ending it, and because the Hollywood sign in itself is such a symbol of dreams come true, but unfortunately it also is those that struggle and can't make it. So that's where that sort of story kind of blossomed from.
That's great. Now let's get technical. This is my favorite part. So we had three very different submissions there. So grab that. So I really want to see, from a technical aspect, we got that you guys did it in a 2-day shoot. How long did it take you? And you said you wrote the song first and then recorded it. So how long through that process did it take you to get the entire thing to where you wanted it to be?
Gotcha. Well, one good thing about a music video is that the audio track is already complete before you start.
Fair enough.
Except for that, like that intro part of it. And so once once the song is recorded, then I just had to come up with shots, and I'm sure everyone on this stage knows that it's all about collaborating with people. And so I was friends with a guy at the USC Film School. And so the director, Aaron Port, the cinematographer were USC film students, and so he secured the locations that we had and mine was just a one-day shoot as well. So it was in the morning in the dining area at USC. That was the ritzy dining room that they were in, and then the rest of it was in an empty lot on Melrose between a shoe store and a burger joint, and with graffiti and trash all over it, so it was perfect. And but the other revolutionaries, they're all USC film student people, and the other actors were where I met Margaret was in the theater school that I went to. They were all from 40 or 50 years ago that we've been doing stuff together ever since. So it's always great to be able to guilt trip and browbeat your friends in being in your projects, and so that's my advice to any aspiring filmmaker.
Great. And then you guys said that it was a 2-day shoot for you. Did you run into any technical issues while you were doing it?
Well, it was 2 days because of technical issues. It was supposed to be 1 day. But then, as can happen, I got into the editing room and realized that some of the shots weren't really usable because either the angle did not look like I was talking to who I was supposed to be talking to, or the dolls at the end, I'm bad, that was part of the reshoot. There was one shot that was good, but then the rest looked just a little off. But luckily we still have the house location because we did film in a house that the other producer who couldn't be here, so I can say this, was about to be evicted from.
Okay.
But yeah, that was I think the main issues.
Gotcha.
Plus, the other technicality was when we filmed the night scene and we had the blue light coming outside. The next door neighbor was a complete jerk about it. They were like yelling. And it was like 9 or 10 at night. It wasn't like 2 a.m. or anything. All I was going to say, I recognized the USC building because I've done student films down there. I'm an actor. And I said, that's USC, isn't it? And I worked with Richard. His last name eludes me.
Really?
Huh?
Really?
Yeah. He's great. He's one of the.
He's a sweetheart.
He's so nice. And the minute I saw him, I'm like, oh, nice. So yeah, Arch was a fun shoot. I just, like I said, it's a shame everything didn't go the first time, but at least we still had the location. This is the second film we've done where the location is no longer available to us.
Yep.
Because the first one we had a house and the film Bucky, and now she's no longer there. So there you go.
Lauren, obviously yours is a little bit different, so why don't you walk us through that process? Do you have any technicalities? Were there any issues that you ran into while you were making it?
So I will work nights and weekends on these projects. It's 12 frames per second, so it's a lot of hours. Then I have a good team of voiceover actors that come in and they do their parts. Anna Grace, Nick Ligger, and we had Abiel Hendricks, who was new to the team, Ayla Glass. They all contributed really wisely to it. And then I also brought in Joshua Gavar and TechSpeak, who is known for Witch House movement music. They supplied the first Port Eldon film soundtrack, so brought them back for that. So pieced it together. Interestingly, I didn't bring in the music first, so I started to draw it out in surreal ways, not thinking about where the placement of the audio for the voice would be. And so I had to supply them with some sort of concept of music. And so I used Bring in the Clowns, that song. So that was sort of the undertone of the entire short. And then we scrapped that, and then they started to piece together their parts into that, plus using the different sounds that I had into that equation.
Very
I
cool.
actually have a question. Were there black silhouettes, ghosts of people who weren't stopped?
Say that again?
You had like two dancing dark silhouettes that were kind of translucent, and I'm like, oh, did they not stop?
Well, interestingly, thanks for bringing that up. I had
You hand the microphone back to him so he can answer it. Everyone can hear it.
Sorry.
Oh, sorry.
I did have choreography from my daughter, Berlin Richards. Did a great job, and her friend Penelope Longstaff. And to me, actually, that was more emotion. So the motion of trauma, depression, with the emotion of life and hope. Those are the two conflicts there. But there were, unfortunately, those that have passed that she wasn't able to save. Was definitely like the ghost that kept coming back and bringing that down. But the object of the film was to show that the heroes are everyday people, and those that, during the times that we've been all through, the first responders, those that are there in good spirit around us, they're the ones that are the heroes to me.
Cool. Well, that's a great segue. Since we already have some questions coming up, why don't you guys hold on to that microphone, and I will pass this around to anybody that has any questions about these pieces.
I don't talk about it.
Sure. There we go. Okay.
When you
I mean, you can project.
okay. When did you actually film your music video? Because you said it was before.
It was 2013. The CD that the song is on came out in like May, and we shot it in the summer of 2013.
Okay, that's what I didn't get because it's very relevant to right now.
Yes.
That's why I was like, when was this? I thought this was like last year.
It's getting. I'm embarrassed to say it's getting more and more relevant every day. And it's,
Slightly prophetic, I would say.
I guess artists are supposed to have vision. I don't know.
Okay, cool. Do you want the microphone or you're just going to just... Okay.
Okay, for the film you did, the two of you, what was your favorite doll? There's so many. I thought Talia, and then there's a Hattie. Which one was your favorite?
Chemo Santa.
Yeah, we would call it chemo Santon set.
This is Chemo Santa's.
Yeah, it does. When we were doing the shoot, not all the dolls had names. They had names during the post-production because he started having the photos. I said, and he asked me to name them. And most of them, some of them had names, some of them didn't. Some of them are like joke names. Like Georgie is kind of like a Georgie LaForge because she had the dust on her eyes, so she was blind. Hera is named Hera because she's the hero doll, but I didn't want to use the masculine hero for her name. And most of those dolls I got at the Vermont Avenue swap meet some Sunday years ago, and about the other half a friend owns, but I'm not giving it back. But yeah, we were called, the big baby and all that stuff. Tally is because she was tall. Peggy was because she actually was missing a foot. You can almost see it in the thing. She's got like a wire.
Yeah, I took a wire clothes hanger and bent it up inside of her and made a foot out of it. So.
Yeah, so that's why she's Peggy.
And it also humanizes the dolls.
Yeah.
Exactly. So yeah,
And Hattie with the hat.
Yep.
Hattie with the hat and Sleepy because she's got the nightgown on and all that. So it was pretty on those jokes.
Yes.
So they're in your house now.
Oh yeah,
Do you still have all of them?
I still have all.
Oh, I didn't realize that they had not been returned.
Well, not the ones I bought. I mean,
My question for all three of you is, did you storyboard your stories at all before shooting?
You're the director, so.
no. I tend to know what I want in my head. And the way I write my scripts, it's almost like verbal storyboards. So.
I scripted it, but since I'm not working with anyone else, I wasn't needing to share that to help conceptualize it. So again, it was in my head, yeah.
Plus, I can't draw.
Also no. Working with the talent that we had on set, it was largely improvisational, and the lyrics suggest a lot of stuff like drag them down the marble stairs. And so we were able to work together, and it was largely collaborative on the set, as you remember. Margaret, of course, was in the video as well. And the director, Aaron Port, USC student, also shot a lot of B-roll that we used, and so we just had, unlike you guys, we had a ton of extra footage, so that was very, very helpful. But we didn't plan out the shots that we were going to have. For a music video, the lyrics dictate so much of it, and it's already in place. So that's how that went.
Oh, he's got the mic and I'll come to you.
Question for 10 for 10. Did you always envision it to be a horror comedy, or were there moments where you thought this could be more scary, less scary?
Well, as producer, when I read the script, how it came out was kind of what we were going for, I think. And is that also what it was written as?
Well, yeah, it was written as a comedy with kind of creepy elements to it. My friend Eric was still in Tennessee when I finished the script. I sent it to him, and he and his mom thought it was really good. She was very happy that it didn't have a scary ending, and I think she's seen the finished film. I'll have to ask him. But yeah, he was trying. If this had been next Monday, he would have been able to be here. The actual Eric.
Yeah, he was almost.
He was almost here today, but something came up. So, but yeah, I find that horror and comedy are like almost two sides of the same coin. If you look at the movie Obsession, which is one of the best movies of this year, yes, it's a lot of creepy and a lot of scary in it, but it's really darkly funny. It's very funny in a very dark way. And I like dark humor. I'm very twisted in my head, so there.
I think some of mine is crossover into horror, what I do, and I think if you have just the slightest element of horror, that's enough to really carry the story.
I'd love to hear from each of you about post-production. Wondering what it was like to edit your films, whether you had help with that, or if you were doing that on your own. Really curious about that.
Great question. I had several music videos before this, so I was skilled in Final Cut and used that. And as you know, once you import the audio track, and then you just put clip after clip and make sure they're lining up. We had obviously a script supervisor on set to make sure that all the lyrics got said, so that we didn't leave anything out. Yeah, that's what I did. I edited it at home on my Mac in Final Cut Pro, and it's and so it was easy and fun to do.
I edited the film on DaVinci Resolve, not quite as much fun to do. In that, I mean, we did reshoot, so obviously as I'm going through and editing and realizing that some of the stuff's not work, I wasn't real pleased. Luckily, we went back and got it, and then we had to color correct the new footage, which was also not terribly fun. And then the big problem, and why this took the better part of a year to finish, is we got a friend of mine, who's still my friend, but I will never hire him again. Don't put this on the video either. Who was really excited to do the music. And we sent it to him, and he's like, oh, I didn't get it. He's like, okay. We sent it to him again. He confirmed he got it. Did nothing with it for a long time. I'm going to get to it. Finally got to it. Sent us one continual piece of music for the entire start to finish thing that all had one vibe. Needless to say, we didn't use it. And we had to find someone else who actually did a great job and we're very happy with. So it all turned out.
And the music that our guy who did the music, that's an earworm for me. The music gets stuck in my head for hours. I actually like it, but it just gives you that little banjo piece going in my head.
And he also did it in a week, as opposed to the guy who didn't deliver in like 8 months.
I think iMovie to Final Cut Pro, but Toon Boom was the most of the content. I believe that Berlin was the choreography done after the film pretty much was finished. And so then I came back and then edited that in. And that's the beauty of being able to just work with the animation and if you don't like something, you're going to do a different angle, or you think of something else that you want to insert in instead. So, yeah.
Any other questions? I've got one. Saving this for last. What's next?
I've already laid down a track for a cover song I'm going to do, so I'm producing a song. I don't have another video on the horizon yet, but I have another song to do. Margaret and Luis and I just finished a track that you can find at jspears.com with the three of us singing some Bach. And so it's always great to have talented friends to exploit.